Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here on the MattVidPro AI YouTube channel. Guys, the temperature dial on AI just keeps getting turned up. The technology is improving rapidly. I think SORA was a huge shock. I've noticed that hate around AI and fear are at an all-time high, but this totally makes sense, and the concern surrounding job displacement with AI is very real. We've got a lot to discuss today, but I'm kicking things off with this. UDIO partners with Universal Music Group. Today, we're thrilled to announce a partnership with Universal Music Group that will allow us to roll out new creation experiences directly with artists and their music. Yes, I'm sure you're thrilled to announce a partnership with the company that was trying to sue you. Here is the best part though, to get things ready, downloads from this platform will be unavailable, so your platform's useless. A lot of people saw this and got immediately upset, but honestly, I'm not all that surprised. The first thing you need to know is that they're not the only company that is involved with this. This comes from Universal Music Group's own website, where you can see Stability AI is also a part of, some strategic alliance to co-develop professional AI music creation tools. Essentially, Universal Music settled their lawsuit with both UDIO and Stability AI. Suno is also involved in this lawsuit, but it doesn't look like they've come to an agreement yet. The fact of the matter is that Universal Music Group associated, yes, with Universal the company, they make films, they own a theme park, basically like Disney, they're worth almost $50 billion. UDIO AI, Stability AI, they're not worth $50 billion. I mean, the company dates itself all the way back to 1934, modernly established in 1996. That was before I was born. Universal has enough money and assets to just keep hurling lawsuits at these companies day after day, until after fighting back for so long, they would be left bankrupt. Not a good situation for an AI music startup, so I don't blame UDIO AI, I don't blame Stability AI. These are the only options they have to keep their organizations afloat. Community reactions to all of this have been all across the table. Here is Chubby calling the move by UDIO disgusting. This is specifically about the inability to download your songs, which I agree is terrible, but I almost guarantee that this is directly from Universal, saying, nope, people can't download your songs, and that starts now. Truth is that UDIO's music generator is better than Stability AI's. Again, though, it was either this or be sued into oblivion, so blame Universal. Apparently, the UDIO Discord server was on fire, lots of death threats being sent to staff of UDIO, probably Stability AI as well, which is just despicable. I mean, if you stop and think for 1 second, not only is this situation not directly UDIO or Stability AI's faults, but sending threats like that accomplishes absolutely nothing, makes everybody's day worse, and leaves you in a questionable ethics territory. Of course, with this, you're also going to see some anti-AI folks celebrating. But let me be very clear, this isn't a win for anybody. This ex-user, Ed Newton, says that it's notable regular AI boosters are being pretty quiet about the Universal/UDIO settlement. UDIO in its current form will cease to exist. Ed claims this shatters their adapt or die, the lawsuits are a waste of time narrative. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to Newton, but this narrative is still very much true. I'll explain this very quickly. Despite the lawsuits and the settlements, AI music isn't going anywhere. In fact, on the very same day that all of this settlement, Universal Music Group stuff was announced, Hail You AI introduced Minimax Music 2.0, your AI composer, singer, and producer. What do we have here? Lifelike vocals across styles of motion, pop, jazz, blues, rock, 5-minute long compositions with multi-instrument control. Yeah, and how's it sound?
Now they run from it. Ain't no wonder why the valleys are run from it. I'm away from the summit.
Can we just anchor in the cove before the squall, before the mast has flown? The course is not yet.
I have these currents where I fracture when the hole grows from the pressure, so corrosive and
Okay, maybe not as good as the best UDIO songs, but still far too good to overlook. And the company that makes that model, yes, they're based in Shanghai, China. It has been dubbed one of China's AI tiger companies by investors. Universal, have fun suing those guys in China. Oh, don't forget about this one, which also seems to have come out yesterday. This one's fully open source, meaning any developer can modify the code and the underlying model that powers it. Looks like it does 240 seconds. Oh, and look at that. Tencent AI Lab, Songbloom. Okay, so Tencent made this. I think that company is also based out of China, right? Oh, and you know what? That actually reminds me of something kind of funny. Universal Music Group shareholder information. Oh, okay. Tencent Holdings Limited. 11, almost 12% of the company. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. This makes so much sense, right? At the end of the day, this is not good for anybody because Universal Music Group isn't nearly as beholden to the consumers of music products, both AI and non-AI music. All we are left with now is some promises from Universal, and you'll just have to decide for yourself whether or not Universal is trustworthy and really cares. So guys, here are those potentially empty promises. Let's start off with Stability AI. Apparently, they're going to use Stability's research and product teams to work directly with Universal Music Group and its artists to explore recording/composition concepts and fold that artist feedback into the product design. They want to create fully licensed, commercially safe, and artist-centered development. When I hear fully licensed and commercially safe, it means any of the money that's going to be made from this AI music, we want to cut. And let me be upfront as well, I'm totally fine with artists being compensated for their rights. I honestly just don't know if we should trust UMG to do that. A smaller startup like UDIO AI or Stability AI is very much beholden to its core users and had to listen to non-stop complaints to make their product something people were willing to actually use. UMG ballpark controls already over 30% of the music industry, if not more. Why would they listen to the average user or compensate small artists fairly? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that like a huge issue in the music industry? On the UDIO side of things, we're being told that artists will be allowed to set permissions on what and who can make music in their distinct, unique style. They're saying that you might be able to remix and reimagine your favorite songs with AI. So take a song that already exists and change it into a new genre. We've kind of already been doing that, honestly. Mashups with your favorite artists, songs, or styles, and many more features. But downloads are now restricted, and it looks like they're on the path to straight up restricting music generation on the platform. I don't know, guys. Personally, for me, the best part of AI music is always making something for myself. Whether it's involving lyrics and concepts that I'm just really obsessed with, certain musical instruments or styles. I like creating stuff that's new, not necessarily just remixing UMG properties. But hey, we can't predict the future, so we don't truly know what's going to happen. If it was up to me, if I had to take a guess, both UDIO and Stability AI music will cease to exist in the way that they did before. The partnership with UMG is going to bring some sort of generative AI music tools to the table, but they'll be limited, and by the time that they arrive, open source and Chinese music generation competitors are going to be doing it better. So yeah, in general, this slows down American AI music generation progress and gives UMG even more control over the music industry. I do know a couple of American companies that UMG might have a hard time fighting though. First up, OpenAI. They've actually worked on some light AI music in the past. Shout out to Jukebox and MuseNet. But actually, very recently, there are some rumors and talks about creating an AI music model. There's also both XAI and Google. XAI has access to Twitter. Google has access to YouTube. They both got a ton of data that includes plenty of music. Both Suno AI and Refusion exist as music gen platforms. Suno AI, who is also getting sued here, seem to kind of be standing their ground. I do think that they are a little bit of a bigger company than UDIO, let's say, but not bigger than UMG. We'll see how it all eventually plays out. All right, that is the AI music rant out of the way. Let's switch gears and talk about AI video. First up, let's get you guys a quick refresher. 3 years ago, this was state-of-the-art AI video generation coming from Pers Beats on Twitter. In September 22, he was running Deforum, and he says it felt like piloting a tiny little spaceship through the latent space, plumbing the depths of the models. Just 3 short years later, LTX-2 is here, and this is an open source AI video generator that does native audio, 1080p by default, and up to 4K at 50 FPS. And it's pretty coherent too. I've got some fun examples. Is it gonna beat SORA 2? No, it's not that coherent. The audio isn't that good, but for being open source, this is jaw-dropping.
There's always that moment, you know? The moment before everything changes. I just hope that
Welcome to the world of audio.
On their website, you can try LTX-2 for free with some limited generations in the LTX API playground. As you saw, they've got Pro and Fast, up to 20-second duration with Fast, 4K at up to 8 seconds, and either 25 or 50 FPS. And this is all with preview audio as well. I messed around, made a couple of fun gens. Here is Rick and Morty in Minecraft. It actually sounds like Rick's voice from the show, but obviously, you know, not as coherent as SORA would do it.
Dub, I'm Pickle Rick! Get swifty!
This one's a little bit less crazy. POV, you're a bee. Lots of detail. Even just on like the free fast 1080p model. Here is someone vlogging themselves going to McDonald's.
Alright guys, let's go to McDonald's, Haunted Edition. Okay, so apparently this McDonald's is like super haunted. People say they've seen stuff. Yeah, right.
$7.50.
Alright, let's see if this haunted burger tastes any different.
You can see it kind of feels like a baby SORA 2 or something. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the standout generations the community has made. First up, some AI-generated SpongeBob. The prompt for this was SpongeBob and Patrick discuss AI sentience. Pretty simple, and again, guys, doesn't this kind of remind you of a baby SORA 2?
But Patrick, what if the AI starts thinking about thinking? That's like double thinking.
That's why it's so scary. What if they decide they don't need us anymore?
Ooh, like when I didn't need that rock anymore. Well, as long as they still make Krabby Patties, I'm okay. But Patrick, what if the AI starts thinking?
I don't know, it's pretty good. Like, the colors, the character design is obviously very close to being on point. We've got some, you know, issues, but like this freeze frame here, just looking at the characters, that is crazy. And again, the audio is so close. Like, that sounds like SpongeBob, that sounds like Patrick. This is Squidward trying to fix a data center?
Just another day at the office, right?
But Mr. Squidward, I'm ready to help. Is there anything I can do?
Yes, SpongeBob, there is something you can do. Leave. Just another day at the...
It's close, man. Pretty freaking mind-blowing to say the least. LTX Pro right now is about 6 cents per second. Magic Hustler shows off a fun audio example.
It's not AI! Ha ha ha! It's not AI! Ha ha ha!
There's like weird kind of like digital sounding reverb sometimes. Fofer, a CGI interview about the weirdest thing generated with AI.
Oh, tell us about the weird thing I am.
I once saw an AI invent a sentient toaster oven that only cooked socks.
That's crazy. The ending here is so trippy, and then it just opens up with the toaster and the sock. Man, again, the detail is so mind-blowing to me. But yeah, this guy's movements are obviously very animated, they're very crazy, but the audio is holding up.
Oh, tell us about the weird thing I am.
I once saw an AI invent a sentient toaster oven that only cooked socks.
Trippy. As you can see, it's not on their GitHub just yet, but they have a very, very good track record actually releasing their video generators open source. So I'm super excited to see what the community is going to do with these models once they're out in the wild. In other AI video related news, Hailyuu 2.3 is here. They've got a fast version as well that's a little bit more affordable, and on their website you get 4 free videos every day. Just like their previous Hailyuu model, models, this one makes improvements to realism, physics, and overall cinematography. This is top of the line, state-of-the-art video gen for sure, but no native audio. Lots of visual styles here. Yeah, it's pretty good. We've also got new research into more long-form video generation. This is long cat video. This shows off strong text-to-video and image-to-video. As you can see, this sucker can do your regular short version generations just fine. Does it have the quality of HALEU 2.3, for example? Probably not, but regardless, it's still pretty satisfactory, I will say. Definitely far from a terrible video generator, right? The longer video generations are where this thing shines. You can see all of these are 4 minutes long. They're very consistent in their style, locations, and overall character, which impressed me. Yes, the sharpness, the detail, the quality, it's not that amazing compared to the best of what we see today, but I've never seen video generations this long come right out of a model. It does get a little bit more grainy over time, but it's pretty incredible how well it's able to keep things stable. It's this same person pretty much the whole time riding a skateboard through the mountains for 4 minutes. This is an interesting house tour style demo. This is about 3 minutes long. The character is very consistent. The room is very consistent in all of its features, but he never actually ends up leaving the room, which I really was intrigued by. Maybe that's a part of the secret sauce here to keep it all conformed. It's not allowed to change too many things over time because then everything will get screwed up. Yeah, this is cool though. It kind of reminds me of Genie in the way that it's able to remember what things are supposed to look like over time, but I don't think that this is going to run in real time, that's for sure. And of course, the quality, yes, not exactly pristine. It's impressive how coherent it's able to maintain things for up to 4 frickin' minutes. Oh, this is cool. So this is like a mukbang. Is he gonna eat all of the food on the table over time? Or is it just gonna like keep reappearing? Yeah, he's basically just eating the same noodles. Oh, okay, it's actually making little cuts. Yeah, that's a little bit of an interesting quirk here. It seems to be very stable for what task it's assigned to. I would love to see it be able to do more unique things and transition over time while carrying consistencies across the video. They do have a very light version of this, and it's called interactive video. They input distinct prompts for each video continuation, so technically these are all continuations, but it allows for pretty seamless directability in your video. The first generation for 6 seconds just describes the basic setup. This lady is cutting the bread in half. At 6 seconds, then the camera zooms out a little bit and she pours some milk into the glass. And finally, she sets the thing down and she actually takes a sip of the milk itself. 22 seconds, that's quite a lot shorter than 4 minutes. I'd be interested to see if they could integrate this interactivity a little bit more natively instead of doing it through continuation. If you're into the nerdy under the hood specifics, they definitely have it in here. Take a look at the unified model as a whole. They've got the model on Hugging Face and the code on GitHub. In other news, SORA 2, both the website and the app, now support SORA characters. You can now turn almost anything into a perfectly consistent character that can be used with other characters or cameos on the SORA app. You can see them on my account under characters. I started off simple doing my pet cat and pet dog. The accuracy on this is very, very good. Probably about as good as cameos are for people. Like on the cat gets the eye color perfect, whisker length, the fact that he is fully white across his entire body, and that's from like a 2-second video that you send to SORA. The size of your character though so can absolutely fluctuate, and as your characters become more and more complicated, Sora will struggle a little bit more to produce a usable character. However, these are all very, very accurate from my dog here. The face is the most important, and it seems to nail that almost every time. The rest of his body is usually pretty good, but sometimes the color is a little off. I wanted to see how far I could push the different characters and cameos, so I did a housefly. This is a real macro video of a housefly that I took years ago. Again, like 2 seconds of audio. It gets the fact that the housefly is completely green, he's a little bit fuzzy, and yeah, he can be replicated as Sam Altman reviewing him as a plushie, a character in a fly video game even, or just use the fly as a reference for a Halloween costume for my cat. Maybe he's just the McHousefly. It's able to extrapolate in all of the same ways you would expect a normal cameo. A very, very impressive feature, to say nonetheless. Next, I moved on to inanimate objects. This is some random beach-themed statue, and you can see over here it's on Sam Altman's desk, haunting him. It gets a very good idea of what your object actually looks like, how it's shaped, and the materials that it's made out of, just from a quick clip. Product placement might work very well with characters. You'll notice OpenAI is going to automatically try to anthropomorphize them a little bit, give them names. Like, I think this one did default to surgeon handle. I just wanted to see if I could import an asset, like a literal object, straight directly in, and yeah, it works great. Copyrighted characters, though, you might struggle with, although I have seen some people get some through, but this gin handle is pretty much exactly a one-for-one recreation from the thing I actually scanned in my house. Your characters can also absolutely be fully animated, and it will keep them consistent in terms of their style, and if your input video includes voice, even voice. Yeah, it's a great update to Sora, and I think we're going to get some very, very fun characters being used in all kinds of certain scenarios shortly. You can control who can actually use the character and how they appear in videos. Apparently, stitching videos into longer, more coherent stories is also available now in the Sora app, but I wasn't able to find this feature for myself yet. Excited to see finally a little bit more long-form content coming out of the Sora app. The first commercially available AI robot is also here. You can order it now, and it's called Neo. Yeah, he's this small little guy, maybe a little cute, maybe a little creepy. Starts shipping in 2026, but yeah, this thing can actually do chores around your house. If you want to buy it outright, it's about $25,000, which sounds like a lot, but let's say it really could do chores all day for you, completely autonomously. Would that about be worth the price of a car? Not to mention they have another option, which is $500 a month. That's a lot closer to like a real car payment. If it was really seamless and useful, who wouldn't want to have something that does all your chores for you? I get it. Yeah, it's a little scary and creepy, and we're not used to having robots in the home yet, but one day, and this is the beginning of it, it'll be all too commonplace. When this first dropped, I watched some of the keynote, did some diving on how it works, whether it's really safe. There are a lot of caveats, but it's a very impressive product. So your little Neo dude weighs about 66 pounds. If he falls on you, hopefully he's not really going to hurt you all that much, especially since his body is like this mesh, deformable exterior skeleton that holds all the components on the inside for the robot, and then it's lined with like this cloth soft clothing. So he's kind of huggable, kind of squishy, not like some metal that's going to beat your brains in. The raw torque and strength of the motors that power the robot's hands, for example, actually aren't all that strong because they're using a tendon-based system. Creators claim that it's honestly about the same strength as a regular human would have with their fists and hands. It can lift up to 155 pounds, which is a lot more than it weighs, and yeah, you can see it doing all kinds of very complex tasks. But how well does it actually work in reality? As an AI assistant that lives with you, I think it actually works pretty well. These demos show it kind of working like a physical real-world Siri or Alexa, but with more capabilities. You can hold ingredients up to it, for example, and it can answer about them and explain things that it can see with its vision language model. You're supposed to be able to ask it anything like ChatGPT. It also has some form of memory for personalization, and they really are trying to show this off as as fully autonomous, which technically it can be. Simple chores like tidying up a room, basic cleaning, picking things up and moving them should be autonomous, but on chores that it has difficulty autonomously completing, you have to schedule expert mode, where someone will literally teleoperate, see through the robot's eyes, and use VR to do the tasks and do chores in your house. There's like tools to prevent the robot from going to certain places in your house if you don't want them to. You can only schedule the expert mode sessions with a remote cleaning and chores at times that you choose. You can also always peer in and check and see what the robot is doing from the app, but I think a lot of people would have a problem with like a real person essentially in VR in your house operating a robot controlling things in your house for you. I'm sure it'll probably be fine because it's all like teleoperated by people that are probably getting paid a lot. It's a little unnerving and creepy though. I understand that. Once the data rolls through for products like this to make them much more reliable autonomously, I think they're going to blow up and become very regular to see in households. But for now, since the data and the training and the models really aren't fully there yet, this thing is kind of like the cutting edge early access to a home robot. You're helping train the future models, and I wouldn't expect it to just work seamlessly all the time, that's for sure. I am not wealthy enough to buy one of those Neo robots for myself. I just have so many questions on what it can do, how fast it's going to get updates and get better. I don't want to see a demo. I don't want to see an advertisement or a keynote. I want to see some YouTuber just buy this thing, unpack it, and try to figure it out. Will it do chores well without hiccups, or is it going to be a disaster? I just have so many questions. Anyways, thanks so much everybody for watching today's AI News Roundup. There's a lot of big stuff going on. I didn't get to talk about everything. I'm probably going to do a deeper dive into SORA characters, for example. Thanks so much for watching though, folks, and happy Halloween. Stay safe and spooky, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.